How many EMTs did Tom train? Probably thousands in Suffolk County. You know, and if he didn't personally train them, he had his instructors train them. He was involved with everybody. Tom started his career off like every other EMT, starts as a basic EMT, and he worked his way up to become a paramedic, and then became a flight medic with Suffolk County Police, and he started and he just kept going forward, and the type of guy he is.
Tom joined the department in October of 1981, came in as a probationary member, and then moved up to the ranks until he became chief of department. His name was known everywhere. Everybody knew him. You know, anybody that was in, EMS, Tom Lateulere, you know, everybody knew him. Really cared about this department. Really put his heart and soul in this department. He's kind of like a father figure down here. Really took care of everybody. Everybody went to him for advice. He was instrumental in getting the paramedic program started down here for 24-hour care for the residents of Wading River. He started that program down there and saw it through, which is a real comfort for this community.
Tom was our Chief of Education and Training here at Suffolk County EMS and was responsible for managing the second largest EMS academy in New York State.
Any of the new stuff that was up and coming, he made sure Suffolk County was included, and we usually were the test pilot for the state, and he was pro patient care. Anything that would make the patient care a lot better, he was definitely for.
He didn't like wearing name tags or, you know, identifiers and stuff like that. His presence was just enough. Never said how sick he was, never say, "So you're getting better." That's what he used to tell us. And you could tell he wasn't getting better. He was getting worse. But he always said, "Oh yeah, no, I just went for another round and I'm doing okay."
He would come in with his chemo pump on, and he would be taking his chemo medicine while he was working in the office. And you know, if he had to leave early for a doctor's appointment, he would work later the next day, or he would come in on a weekend.
He worked like up to the 5 days before he passed.
You know, all of a sudden he was gone, and we weren't prepared for that because we didn't know how sick he was. So 1 week he's down here, and the next week he's gone. You know, it hit us hard down here.
Well, there were people that were representative of nearly every department in Suffolk County. There were a few from Nassau County. Some of the state EMS officials did make their way down. The Suffolk County Police Department, where Tom was a flight paramedic, did a very, very touching ceremonial flyover, which was touch and go until the very last minute due to the weather that day, but the police pressed on, and I think, if I'm allowed to say, may have taken a few extra chances because they didn't want to let Tom and his family and his colleagues down.
What saw for me was how much that guy was really loved, what an outpouring of support. You know, how many people showed up. You know, we had over 1,000 people here come in, and just a general feeling of everybody of how much he was respected. You know, when you have buses dropping people off to come in, and people telling funny stories and, you know, stuff like that, it just shows you how many lives he really touched.
During his eulogy, people would ask me, "Are you going to replace Tom?" And I know what they meant, but my mantra was, I'm not replacing Tom. I may fill the position, but I can't replace Tom. He was driven, and he's somebody to be emulated. I know that sounds cliche, but this is a guy who just worked tirelessly for the good of the department and for the good of the people he was serving.
We definitely miss him being around the firehouse. He was really one of those guys that just gave it all to the end, and I was proud to know him.